amongst many, was the fact of the creek. And my background, we moved here from the Oregon coast, where our street there was not a county road. So we had to form a road district. And I ran it for about 10 years, up until the point that we left. And so we had some problems, and I decided it was time to go. So my son, my granddaughter, and his wife live here in town, so we moved here. Now, part of the reason of the bridge wanting to be a pedestrian bicycle bridge is the fact that once, if this becomes an arterial, it's going to be basically like living on a freeway. And they're proposing a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, and that's something that we can't have happen. I do have personal reasons, and I don't want to go into them right now. But I am dead set against a car bridge here. For, amongst other reasons, the fact that it's backed up right here makes it nice for the fish, the ducks, and any other aquatic animals, like the egret up on top of the telephone pole.
There he is.
And the sewer and the water line flow right at creek level down there. So, they put a car bridge in. What are you going to do maintenance? Tear the bridge down and fix wherever the leak is? I don't know. But consequently, we'll lose this little waterfall here as well. And it makes it kind of nice to see. So, I'm going to pass it on to Linda Pike.
Okay. Well, as you all know, I think everybody here knows, we've been fighting this thing for a number of years. And I'm not here to represent the 3rd Street Pedestrian Bridge Project Corporation because there are 3 directors, and I just want to give you the history of the corporation. That we formed the corporation, and I handed out the articles of incorporation, and on the back are the only meeting that we had after that was formed. So we formed that in 2008. We registered with the IRS and the Secretary of State. It cost us over $300, about $350 or so to get all those filings done, and people donated toward that so we could get that done. And I applied for 2 grants, and in fact, that was really the main purpose of forming the corporation was we were told, I won't say it's explicitly by the city, but the word was if we could raise the money, we could have a pedestrian bike bridge. So we decided that in order to apply for grants, we would have to have a 501c3 before we could get grants. So that was our purpose in forming the corporation. So we did that, and I was turned down for 1 grant with the state. The city applied for the same grant, and they were also turned down. And I got 1 small grant. I got a $200 grant from Tri-State. And then Marshall Comstock, mayor, and they had a hearing. Didn't go well for the other side, and he decided not to pursue it, and then he was no longer mayor, and it's been dormant since then. So nothing more has ever happened. We have only me and my husband Bob and Tom Ivey, who used to live down here. We're the only directors on the corporation, and I've been in contact with Tom, even though he lives in Wyoming, and so he's waiting to see what happens, because only the 3 of us can vote to make any changes. And Bob has been filing all the IRS and state of Idaho requirements since then. So with that tri-state grant, I didn't check the latest balance in the our bank account, but it's around $250. We never did any more after that.
That's not the money that's in the
No,
city's
and we
account.
all know that there's quite a bit in the city account for that many of you donated for a pedestrian bike bridge. And I think it's become apparent that it's not the money that's preventing the pedestrian bike bridge from being built. It's the will of the council. So, in my opinion, to continue with all the formalities of the corporation, when what we really want to do is lobby or do something to get the council to change its mind, it may not be worth the corporate, because it's not money we need to raise, it's minds we need to change. With that is probably the history of the corporation. Did you all get a kind of chance? I mean, it's very simple. We didn't have any bylaws. There are 3 directors. Our purpose was to educate the public about the 3rd Street pedestrian bridge and pursue funding to construct the bridge. And as I say, we've only got about $200, and you went to the city to see what they had, didn't you?
Yeah, there's $15,368 in the bank account for the bridge.
For the pedestrian bridge?
That's dedicated to pedestrian bike bridge. And in our corporation, if the corporation is disbanded, the little money that we have goes to a non-profit of our choosing. I don't know what the city would do, because most people took a tax deduction in order to donate, and I think somewhere I have the list of the donors that, at least the last time I checked, which has been some time ago. They won't tell how much, but I mean, each person did, but Frank, with that amount. And at one point, I had gone to the county because I knew that they put up a bridge, a pedestrian bridge at Robinson Lake Park. And so I went to see if I could get the plans, and sure enough, they were willing if I could get permission from the architect, and I contacted the architect. He said, I have no patent on it, the plans are yours, and I have the plans. And they built that with donated labor for $7,000. So I took that to the city, thinking I had solved everybody's problem. I'm so naive. Anyway, they told me that no, that they didn't like the plans, that they couldn't use the plans, it was a suspension bridge, and they could never have a suspension bridge here, there would be too much sway. So anyway, they kind of told me to get lost about that. But I thought, well, we have the money, and I've got the plans, so why can't we go forward? But that was not the case. So anyway, that kind of concludes my part of the agenda. I know Linda and I may not agree on this, because she wants to pursue the corporation, and I do not want to be president. I mean, of it. It's going to take a lot of work that I don't have time to do, and I just feel like that for what this group wants to do, we don't really need the corporation. What we need, maybe we need a name, and we need, to come to kind of consensus. She thinks we need a corporation, so that will be up to the body, because I can't do anything. I'm just one person here.
Would you like to recognize me?
Sure.
Thank you.
I didn't say that.
First, I want to thank Linda for being here and shepherding the corporation into existence and all over these years. The reason I think we do need a corporation is because I've spoken to various individuals, city council members, the media, various others, and the word is clear to me from them that they want an organization that represents all of us who are concerned about this, approaching them. So if Linda is not interested in pursuing that with the corporation that has money here for the bridge itself, then I think it would be appropriate to authorize the folks in this group to say, okay, let's make a neighborhood association, the Third Street Association, that relates to the livability and sensible planning for your neighborhood. And we have some of those and have had some of those in the past in the city's activities, and they've been very successful. The Fort Russell Neighborhood Association being one of the best. And so I really encourage you to authorize an association, a nonprofit group today. I will be happy to donate the work that is involved in setting up a corporation, a nonprofit, pardon me, corporation for that purpose, if you would like to do that. So that's my pitch.
Linda?
Yeah.